Thank you for joining us on this edition of KSSU Newscenter. I'm Derek Schultz.
And I'm Liz Nix. Today we'll show you how Marshall plans to become environmentally friendly.
We'll also give you the inside scoop of the SMSU Culinology Program's Chopped competition.
But first, our top story this afternoon involves a Marshall Elementary School field trip gone wrong. A 4-year-old Marshall Elementary student was left behind on a school field trip. A.G. Wiley and his class went on a field trip to the Children's Museum in Brookings, South Dakota. When the rest of his peers were 15 minutes outside of Marshall, one of the chaperones realized that he had been left behind in Brookings. The school informed his parents, Jackie and Antoni, who then insisted that they pick up their child themselves. A.J. has a speech disability and, according to the mother, should have been watched more carefully by chaperones. The Wiley family has refused to meet with school officials unless an attorney is present. One of teachers have been put on administrative leave, and the Marshall School District is finding better ways to account for all of the students on school field trips.
A suspicious substance is the subject of investigation after a letter containing it was opened by a Minneapolis citizen. The letter was received at the Wells Fargo Shoreville Operations Center, and authorities responded immediately at 2:30 p.m. yesterday. 500 people were evacuated from the building, and one victim exposed to the substance is currently being treated and evaluated at the Hennepin County Medical Center. The victim has not yet experienced any adverse symptoms as a result of the incident. The substance was sent to the Minnesota Department of Health for testing, and results are expected in the coming days. The Wells Fargo location has since reopened its doors, all except for one small, unnamed section, presumably where the letter was opened. Yesterday, President Barack Obama visited the site of the West Texas fertilizer explosion to honor the firefighters who were killed.
President Obama joined Texas officials and thousands of first responders and community members to remember the firefighters, whose flag-draped coffins were in the front of the auditorium at Baylor University, about 20 miles from the site of the plant explosion.
There will be moments of doubt and pain, the temptation to wonder
I like that, people.
how this community will ever fully recover. And
you're sick.
the families who've lost such remarkable men of the sort that we saw in that video, there are going to be times where they simply don't understand how this could have happened.
It has been more than a week since the explosion, which killed 14 people and injured more than 200 others.
Today I see in the people of West.
A Minnesota woman pled guilty to fraudulently taking $23,000 in Social Security benefits. Nefertiti Randall, 32, was found guilty of one count of theft of government money yesterday. Randall collected the Social Security benefits of her deceased mother for almost 3 years before being caught by authorities. Randall is serving her sentence at the Federal Correctional Institute in Waseca, Minnesota.
After Tuesday's City Council meeting, the steps to make Marshall a cleaner and greener city are heading into the right direction. According to the Marshall Independent, a majority of the council voted to approve the Green Step committees applying for an AmeriCorps member through the Minnesota Pollution Control Agency's Minnesota Green Corps program. This work would help expand local Green Step partnerships. Green Step Cities is a voluntary program administered by the Minnesota Pollution Control Agency. Participating cities can be recognized for improving efficiency and adopting green practices like recycling and conserving energy. Marshall was named a Green Step City last spring.
April is Sexual Violence Awareness Month, and on Tuesday night, a guest speaker shared her story with students of SMSU.
The guest speaker, Chris, was a victim of sexual violence at the age of 15, and on Tuesday night she came to SMSU to share her story. Some students came just to hear, while others came to listen for a class. Professor B.C. Franson and Jenna Thompson shared more. If you've become a victim of sexual violence or know someone who has, you can contact the New Horizons Crisis Center for support and counseling. You can contact them at 507-537-6817 or through email at the address located at the bottom of your screen.
We are halfway done for this year's Fine Art Celebration, and on Tuesday, SMSU Forensics team members showed the audience what they've got. KSSU's Ryan Bartz takes you to the Spring Forensics Showcase.
She wasn't on The Price is Right or even Wheel of Fortune, but instead at a fundraising event for a local
The SMSU Forensic Showcase gives team members an opportunity to showcase their talents and present their hard work and dedication to what they have done this past year. But this showcase had one thing in common. The performers all competed at the national level. Earlier this month, Nick Dorman, Ben Tinsvold, Anna Johnson, and Stephen Shaga competed at the American Forensic Association National Tournament in Hutchinson, Kansas. Director of Forensics Mark Fokin says that preparing for this type of national tournament isn't as easy as someone would think.
They did very, very well, considering that they were competing against competitors from other colleges and universities throughout the country, from large teams and small teams that also had qualified through really rigorous processes. This really is a tournament of champions. It's a tournament of all the best performers in the nation.
Although the competition was tough, the team members did enjoy a memorable experience to remember.
The speeches that we got to hear were great, but also the time we got to spend with one another, the four of us that went, and the two coaches. We had a great time. We got to go experience some good food. We spent a lot of time together in the van. I would consider it to be a success.
There are many more fine arts events coming up as the school year comes to a close, such as Pat Brace's Jazz Age Jewelry, which goes on now through Saturday, May 11th. You can find more information about the Fine Arts Celebration and what events are coming up at the bottom of the screen. I am reporting from Bellows Academic Quad, Ryan Bartz, KSSU Newscenter.
The Culinology and Hospitality departments are hard at work with the end-of-the-year programs.
I had the opportunity to visit with some of the faculty and students from both departments about what was on the menu. At the end of the spring semester, it is time for the Culinology department's time to shine, with 3 big events that they take part in, including Chopped, formerly known as Iron Chef, the pop-up restaurant, and the creation of 3 new dishes. Culinology advisor Michael Chain talks about the new dishes the students made.
The dishes were created actually by the students. So all I did was give them some parameters. So it had to be fast, had to be easy. It should require some prep so they could practice some of the culinary skills that they have. But the whole concept behind it was there shouldn't be a whole lot of waiting time from when the customer orders the food. And I did not want it to be similar to fast food.
In this kitchen right here, Culinology students have came up with the new pop-up restaurant, and they also focus on their competition Chopped, formerly known as Iron Chef. Culinology students work throughout the year to come up with new dishes for students to try. They also take these dishes to different corporations to see if they would like to invest in their new creations.
In the past 3 years, we've competed nationally. We placed first in 2011 and also this in 2013, and then placed 3rd in 2012.
I asked host of Chop, Hannah Jacobson, what her favorite part about the competition was.
Of it, you get these ingredients, and then you have to come up with a dish that best fits the flavor profile and is just creative and energetic.
For KSSU News, I'm Liz Nix.
Excitement will fill the air in the RA facility on Saturday, May 11th for the 2013 commencement service. Ashley Peterson joins us now with more on the ceremony.
Thank you, Derek. 643 Southwest Minnesota State University students will receive their undergraduate or master's degrees on Saturday, May 11th in the RA facility here on the campus of SMSU. A commencement speaker will be present. One graduate will be presented with the Outstanding Senior Award, and Professor of Exercise Science Brent Jeffers will be honored for receiving the Cohen Award. Chris Hale is a sports management major and one of the 643 to graduate on May 11th. He told me about his feelings about graduation. According to him, patience is the key with the weeks leading up to graduation. He has worked so hard for the last few years, and he just wants to graduate and have it done with. Music will be provided by the SMSU Symphonic Band and by the SMSU Concert Choir. Following the commencement ceremony, a reception for the graduates and their family and friends will be held on the 2nd floor of the Student Center. SMSU's National Broadcasting Society members are going to broadcast the commencement service live over the local public access channel, Charter Channel 18 and Knology Channel 99, and it will also be streamed live on the website listed on the screen next to me. Liz and Derek, back to you.
Thanks for that report, Ashley. We're now joined with Vincent Verville on weather. And Vince, going outside today, it seemed like things are kind of warming up.
Yeah, I think spring has finally sprung. I've got your weather after the break.
At Southwest Minnesota State University, our students come first. It's a commitment you can see in our new Regional Events Center, Residence Hall, Student Center, and Science Lab renovation. We've invested over $80 million in the past decade for top-notch facilities. And we're not stopping there. Southwest Minnesota State University, it's where you belong.
Welcome back to News Center. I'm Vincent Verville, and having a look at your weather almanac, we've got a very average April day going on. 64 is the high, 39 is going to be your low. We're going to take a look at the National Doppler radar. As you can see, it's going to be partly cloudy today, as is the rest of the week. And here's a look at the current temperatures. It's currently 47 right now, but it's going to creep up shortly. And here's a look at the travel map. And we're looking at all good highways here across the nation. And Saturday's forecast, this is what everybody's interested in. Minnesota is going to be in the 70s. Sweet, sweet 70s. Anywho, take a look at your 4-day forecast. Friday, we're going to creep up into the 60s. Saturday, your high is going to be 72. 72 again on Sunday. And Monday, there's a chance of a severe thunderstorm, and your high is 69. That was a look at your local weather forecast. Stay tuned for sports after the break.
AmeriCorps Bureau.
I want to help people. I want to make a difference. I want to get things done. Could I be a hero?
She had to apply.
I should give this a try.
There she met people who shared her passion, people who wanted to make change, people who joined AmeriCorps. They cleaned beaches, they helped wildlife. Together they served, together they made a difference. Together they were heroes.
In AmeriCorps, you can be a hero too.
Join AmeriCorps.
The Minnesota Twins had an upsetting loss to the Texas Rangers last night. Let's take a look at the highlights. Top of the second inning, Nelson Cruz takes a run for second base as Adrian Beltier scores and Chris Parmalee throws Cruz out. Score 1-0 Rangers. In the top of the fifth inning, Elvis Andrus takes off running down the left field line, and Leonis Martin runs into home, giving the Rangers yet another run. Score 2-0 Rangers. It's the bottom of the seventh inning as Josh Willingham hits a much-needed homer off of Nick Tepsch to Minnesota. Their first run of the night. Score 2-1 Rangers. It's the bottom of the eighth inning and the bases are loaded. It's 3-2 count. Willingham hits a 6-4-3 double play to the end of the inning. Rangers, of course, hang on for the win. The final score was 2-1 Rangers. The Twins sit second in the American League with a record of 9-9. The Twins face the Rangers tonight at Target Field.
Thank you, Dan, for that report.
And Vince, it looks like we're done with the snow for April.
Yep, no more snow in April.
And I bet everybody is looking forward to that. Can we expect a clear, sunny day for moving towards commencement?
Yeah, commencement should be a nice, clear, sunny day, and expect 70s and 60s for the rest of the month and for May as well.
Awesome.
All right, well, thank you so much for that, Vincent. And it is a bittersweet ending today. Both Derek and I are seniors. This is our last News Center we'll ever do. I want to thank everybody out there who has worked with us and for us over the last 4 years. And thank you to you listeners and watchers who have watched us in the past 4 years. It really means a lot to us.
It's been a delight, and it's bittersweet, as you said.
Well, for Dan Debates on Sports and Vincent Verville for Weather, I'm Liz Nix.
And I'm Derek Schultz. Tune in next Tuesday for another edition of KSSU Newscenter.